Hey, good to see you. Welcome back to this edition of Trinity in 20. If you're watching this on Friday, January 6th, today is the Epiphany, the day of the Epiphany. It is the end of the Christmas season. As you see around the church, we've taken everything down. You'll come here on Sunday and it looks like regular church because we're at that end of Christmas, right? We packed everything away. But on the day of the Epiphany, you may remember that it's the day that the wise men showed up at the birthplace of our Lord Jesus, that they had been traveling. It took them a while. They did not show up on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. They showed up on the day of the Epiphany, which is the day of the manifestation, the day of the appearance of the nations at the cradle of our Lord Jesus. Theologically, we've always talked about how it's a sign that Jesus was here for the world, and that the promises that God had made to bring all people to God, to bring all people back into relationship with each other, is made known and begun on this day, the Epiphany. And the wise men show up. In our house, when our children were little, the wise men were always on a journey, and they would be traveling around the house. The kids would move them around every day until they finally showed up at the creche on January 6th. What's interesting in this story, when you hear the story of the wise men, as you read through St. Matthew's Gospel, in the second chapter, you hear how they did not go back to see King Herod. They did not go back to them, that they went back to their homes by another way. In effect, the wise men were travelers, and they became almost travelers through time. If you know the legends, they are buried in Cologne Cathedral in the western part of Germany. That, in that sense, they never actually made it home. That their home became a new place, a different place, someplace other than what they were used to. And it is almost a sign that this day comes to us as a sign that our lives, when we encounter Jesus, do not remain the same, that we don't go back to the places that we came from, at least not in the same way that we are. That these men, however many there are, tradition says there were 3, that these men find a new home, find a new way, find a new place to be, find a new way to be. And it's a sign for all of us here in this time that we experience Christmas, but being in the presence of Jesus, experiencing the incarnation, as we formally say, changes us. And it forces us to see the world in new ways. It allows us to see each other in new ways. And so we travel through the world like the Magi, like the wise men, in a new way. And new places become our home, and new ways of being become who we are. As we all travel through this holy season, through the end of this season, and through the year that is ahead of us, I would hope that the memory of those who traveled to the birthplace of our Lord Jesus become signs for us as we travel through our lives this year, confident that God is with us, confident that we have a story to tell, confident that somehow we bear relationship to God and to Jesus and to each other. I hope you have a great week. See you soon.